Hello everyone, welcome again on the lecture of the law of supply and demand that we are discussing in our previous video lectures. So just to recall what we have discussed so far, we have seen the demand curve and the supply curve. What are the factors responsible for affecting this curve that we have seen in a very brief introduction, and we have seen the basic law, that is the law of supply and demand. So one of the important outcome of this law of supply and demand is the price at which any item that must be available in the market should be at a price where the supply and the demand both are both are equal, and we call this point as an equilibrium point. So to continue further, let us see what will happen if the market is not at equilibrium. So if the market is not at equilibrium point, is not operating at equilibrium point, we may have two conditions. One condition is what we call as excess supply. It simply means that the demand is less and the supply is more, that is surplus is available in the market. So that is one situation. On the other hand, we have another situation where we have excess demand but the supply is less. We call this as shortages. So under a point which is not at the equilibrium point, these two situations may arise. So one of the very easy way out to deal with these two situations is the concept of free markets, where again the equilibrium point is reached through the interaction of the buyer and seller, and price is the tool through which the market is cleared. The buyer and the seller, they negotiate upon the price to get both the conditions fulfilled. Either we are having excess supply or shortfall in demand. So let us see how the supply curve and the demand curve changes with some of the factors. Now we have two things. One is the change in the quantity demanded and change in the demand curve. These two things, they are different. In what sense they are different? Let us see here on this curve. We have a curve dA. Say for example, on the curve dA, if the price is increased from P0 to P1, that means now when the price is higher and we just apply the law of demand, it states that when the price is higher, the demand will fall. So correspondingly, when the price is increased from P0 to P1, the demand falls from Q0A to Q1A. So this is the effect of price on this demand, and we say that this is nothing but this is the change in the quantity demanded. But we say, for example, if we have another curve dB, so this curve dB is basically representing the change in the demand curve, and the factors responsible for this change in the demand curve are not the price but other factors like income, accumulated wealth, what the price of any identical product which is available in the market. So it depends upon many other factors. So the change in the determinants of demand other than price causes a change in demand or the shift of the curve from dA to dB. The curve may shift towards right of dA, it may shift towards the left of dA as well. So when demand shifts to the right, it simply means that the demand increases. This can be judged if we draw a horizontal line at any price P1, and the demand on the curve dA will be less as compared to dB if the curve is moving towards right. So for every price, if the curve is moving towards right, the demand is higher. So this is known as the shift in the demand curve, or the demand is higher for the same price. Now, if we see, this is the summary. That is, whenever there is a change in the price, we call this as the change in the quantity demanded, and this is nothing but movement along the curve as evident from the first figure. That is, whenever the price falls down, the demand increases, and whenever the price increases, the demand falls down. So this is the impact of price on the demand. However, apart from price, if other factors are coming into picture like income, preferences, price of other related goods, then all these factors basically change the demand curve. Rather, the curve will shift from DA to DB. It may be towards right, it may be towards left, depending upon how these factors, they are either on the higher side or on the lower side. We call this as shift of the curve. Similarly, like if we see the impact of one factor, that is income, on the demand curve. Say for example, if we are dealing with a normal curve, if the income increases, the general trend should be that in case of a normal good, if the income is higher, then the demand will be higher for a normal product. This is because of the fact that the curve is now changing from DA to DB. Like when we are having a higher income, the demand curve will shift from DA to DB towards right. Now, if we see here for any price level, say P1, the earlier demand was Q1A. Now this is changed to Q1B, and of course Q1B is higher than Q1A. Similar is the case if we take any other price. Now the second thing is, let us take up the case of an inferior good. So if the good is inferior and with the higher income, the demand curve will shift from DA to DB, and this shift will be towards left, because when the income is higher, the demand for the inferior good will fall down, and this is because of the fact that there is a shift in the demand curve. Now the demand curve is moving from DA to DB, and that shift is towards left. Now let us see one more factor that is responsible for this change in the supply and the demand curve. Let us take up a case of a product and two products which are related to this. Say hamburger is one product. So for a hamburger, the ketchup is basically a complementary product. So complementary product, if you just revise, are those products in which the demand of one is directly proportional to the demand of the other. Higher the demand of the hamburger, higher will be the demand for the complementary good. And for the substitute good, it is vice versa. That is, if the price of a good is higher, then the demand for the substitute good will increase. So that is the difference, and that we have seen when we have discussed the different types of goods. So now let us see, say for example, if the price of the hamburger increases from P0 to P1, so what will happen to these two products? That is, one is the complementary product and another one is the substitute product. Now as the price increases, obviously, because since the price is increasing, the demand will fall down for this hamburger. That is, now initially the demand is Q0A, but because of this increase, the demand for the hamburger will fall to Q1A. So this is just because of the increase in price. We say that there is a change in the quantity demanded, and this is happening just because of the price of the hamburger. Now let us see how this change will impact the complementary good and the substitute good. Let us see here. In case of a complementary good, the demand, of course, since they are complementary to each other, so there will be a decrease in the demand of the complementary good. So in this case, ketchup, there is a shift in the demand, but that is not because of the price, but that is because of the increase in price of the related product or of the complementary product. So in this case, the demand of the ketchup is changing because now we are having a different demand curve. Initially, the curve for the ketchup is DA, which is shifting towards the left because of the increased prices of the hamburger. So if I just draw a horizontal line at any price level P1, if you see here, the demand is falling from Q1A to Q1B, and this is because of the fact that here price is not responsible, but the demand of the complementary product is responsible for this change. Similarly, for the substitute, if we see, say when the price of the hamburger is higher, there will be a decrease in the demand, but this decrease in the demand will shift the demand curve for a substitute good towards the right. Now we have more demand for the substitute good, in this case, say the chicken burger. So that is because of the fact that now the demand curve is shifting from D8 to DB. Now, if we draw at a horizontal line and a line at any price level, we will notice that the demand is on the higher side. That is not because of the price, that is just because of the related product, what we call as a substitute product. So similar is the case for the supply curve. We are having two things. One is the quantity supplied and the change in the supply curve. Again, from the supply viewpoint, if the price for any commodity or any product is higher, then the manufacturer wishes to supply more quantities in the market, because in that case, profit margin is basically lower, is profit margin is same at a reduced level of volume. So this is what the manufacturer wants. So he always try to put more products in the market when the price of that particular product is higher. So this is simply what we call as change in the quantities supplied. However, apart from this, if other factors, income, price of related goods, raw material, technology, if all these things are coming into picture, then instead of change in the quantity demanded, we call this as the change in the quantity in the supply curve. So let us see, this is the primary difference between the two. If you see, if the change is because of the price, we call this as change in the quantity supplied, movement along the curve. And if other factors are coming into picture like cost of raw material, what we call as input prices, technology, or price of related good, this will lead to the change in the supply curve. The curve is now moving from SA to SB. It may move on the right hand side, it may move on the left hand side, and we call this as the shift of the curve. So this is all about very few implications, or implications of income and the related good on the on the supply and the demand curve. We will take up more in our next lecture, where we will discuss the market disequilibrium and how equilibrium is restored when we have a market disequilibrium kind of conditions. Hope you have enjoyed the lecture. Thank you very much.